In 1975, there was a recession. We had people living on the streets asking for food. We served the first meal out of the basement of the church. The Dallas Morning News ran a story, and donations from across the country poured in. It just grew, it became a thing. Someone even offered us a cow. That's true. In those early days, we were just feeding people. We noticed some had trouble chewing because of dental pain, and dentists from the congregation stepped up and offered free dental care. And that's really the story of the Stew Pot, people sharing what they could to help their neighbors.
In the 90s, I worked as the youth director for another Presbyterian church, so I'd bring my youth group down to the Stew Pot to serve, long before I ever thought about working here. My students would realize how easily it could be their family needing help, and that made an impact.
In the 70s, we reached out to City Park Elementary and began Saturday school for the children, and we offered ESL classes for their parents. That led to summer day camp, kids club, children and youth program, and venturing crew. We just expanded the services as the needs increased.
So my parents actually met here in the late 80s. Mom worked in the day school. Dad was the Stew Pot building manager, and Bruce officiated their wedding. So I basically grew up at the Stew Pot. I was going to work with Dad. I had my special job to serve milk and water out of the pitcher. I would help pass out mail, hygiene, pack up the groceries for the families, and then go to kids club. We would eat lunch and have fun doing art projects and playing dodgeball and dressing up. We had swim lessons, field trips. Most of them were low-income families, so it was the first time that they're ice skating or roller skating or bowling, something that most of us take for granted.
As they got into high school, we took them on college visits. And as they got accepted to college, we provided scholarships. And there are adults today who can tell you what that's meant to them.
In order for my dad to get citizenship here, he had to return to his home country of Mexico. He had been the primary breadwinner, so my mom and my sisters and I had to work and figure it out. He left home my freshman year of high school, and he couldn't return until 6 years later. And around that time, a friend told me about venturing crew. God's timing is beautiful, huh? I didn't know how wonderful it felt to be surrounded with new friends. They would invite guest speakers, the university trips, to broaden those horizons, just a mix of activities to inspire us to make a plan for life after high school. Not just in the scholarship program, but with the community that came with that. I was working 2 jobs while also going to school full-time. Just knowing that I had friends who are also first generation going through the same hurdles, even though it was a difficult experience, it wasn't a lonely experience. I graduated in 2020 with a double major. That diploma was not just my achievement. It was venturing crew, that scholarship, and everyone who's given to support those programs. Now I work as a marketing manager for Dallas College, and I want to give back to the next generation at the Stew Pot.
When Bruce came on as our executive director in the late 80s, he went out on the streets and saw the growing need and reported back that we needed more space to serve more people. Billy and Gil Thomas donated the Community Ministries building in 1990. That opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
I went to so many Stew Pot talent shows over the years. Bruce in his tuxedo, because he was kind of always the MC, and these individuals expressing their gifts. They had all of the hardships making them feel smaller. But at the Stew Pot talent show, they were big on the stage, and we were all cheering them on. There's so much creativity here, and our enrichments help unlock that potential. Whether they sing in the street choir, or garden with our botanists, write articles with professional editors for Street Scene, or creating art in the studio. But it's also about creative solutions to homelessness.
We were serving lunch 5 days a week, but when we partnered with The Bridge in 2008, we could serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. By 2012, the Stew Pot had served over 5 million meals.
And we're on track to serve 9 million meals by our anniversary. We've had tremendous growth in food recovery, distribution, and in housing.
Now I'm a permanent supportive housing case manager. We find their apartment for them, and then I visit them in their home once a week. Permanent means forever, so we are there to help them for a lifetime. To this day, I'm able to call my dad, and he will help me move a neighbor into their housing. More than once, they have recognized my dad from all those years that he worked at the Stew Pot. He is very proud of what I am doing now. Sure, that's gonna make me cry. A couple of years ago, our family home caught on fire with my grandmother and my dad in it. This house had been in our family for about 30 years, and over the course of the night, the house did burn down. My dad and my abuelita spent months in the hospital recovering. And through that, the Stew Pot supported us, providing any and everything that we needed. I am forever grateful because on my darkest days, the Stew Pot was there for me and for my dad.
In the last 4 years, we've tripled the size of our staff and tripled our services, but we've outgrown our space. So just like in the beginning of the Stew Pot, from the basement to across the street and down the street at the bridge, now we're moving just a mile away to this new opportunity. None of this would be possible without the church, the foundation, and all the generous volunteers and donors.
We never imagined our mission would grow so big. But when people are willing to help, there's really no stopping.
People who give to the Stew Pot, they have no idea the impact their contribution is making. It brought so much stability to my life, and now I get to be that example. That's legacy.
50 years ago, we opened our doors to love and serve our neighbors.
And provide a community of support.
To break free from poverty and homelessness.
Dallas families need the Stew Pot now more than ever
So we need everyone.
With hearts and hands ready to serve.
to join our mission
For the next
For the next
for the next 50 years.
For the next 50 years.